fallen on the burn scar yet today, and it's so far just creating some gusty winds. South-southwest winds gusting to 24 miles per hour, gusting to 26 in Colorado City. As you can tell from Bill's live shot there in Pueblo, it's getting gusty because some showers are moving into Pueblo proper. Unfortunately, that rain is missing the burn area. You can see some really light green radar returns here. That would be just maybe sprinkles at best. That's not going to do anything significant for moisture at the fire, but it's creating some gusty conditions. There is still some chances of rain though for the next couple of days, especially tomorrow, but especially tomorrow comes with that hazard of flash flooding on the burned area, especially the burn areas that have scorched ground with ash and burned trees. That can create debris flows with as little as just a quarter inch of rainfall. So flash flood warnings will be triggered at the burn scar by the National Weather Service with just a quarter inch of rain tomorrow. To put that in context, it would take maybe 1 to 3 inches of rainfall to get a flash flood warning in Pueblo proper. Allison, Pueblo now, we've got heavy rainfall moving through town, some quite gusty winds coming out of this thunderstorm as well. So the rain kind of mixing with the smoke. I'm anticipating the smoke in general to get better and start to thin out by tomorrow because of the mixing of the atmosphere and these rain shower chances that we've got in play really through the end of the week. Checking on radar right now, we've got a few spots where thunderstorms have popped up. Los Animas County here, the southern Sangre de Cristo mountain range, Wet Mountain Valley, and from Pueblo through Colorado Springs, just west of the interstate. So let's zoom in on the showers moving through Pueblo. We've got moderate to heavy rainfall currently and those gusty winds. You can tell that these showers are moving really slowly. We don't have much of a jet stream, so these showers aren't being pushed by any sort of wind. They're just popping up and raining themselves out. Right now, there's no significant precipitation at the Aspen Acres fire. I'm very interested in what happens though with these showers if they do make it over the Wet Mountains. So if we don't get a shower at the Aspen Acres fire today, there's still a good chance of it tomorrow, and unfortunately that's going to come with a flash flood risk. So a flash flood watch has been issued for tomorrow from noon till 8. This is mostly for concerns at the Aspen Acres burned area. So the highest risk for any flash flood warnings tomorrow would be for crews actively working the fire, the few people who have been allowed back to their homes, and infrastructure, because if we get mud and debris flow, we could have roads washed out or roads covered in the ash and debris that flows through. So when you have a wildfire, you get this subsurface layer of hydrophobic soil, which means it repels water. And then on top of that would be the ash and the burned vegetation, big logs and tree branches. So as soon as it starts to rain on these surfaces, it's just going to instantly start to slide because that soil layer is hydrophobic. And so there's a high risk of debris flow and flash flooding on burn scars. And this is not a short-term problem, it's a long-term problem. They're probably going to have to deal with that for years ahead on this burn scar. So for this evening, we've got the slow moving showers making their way into the plains here tonight, then dissipating by 10 o'clock. We'll do the same tomorrow, and there's an even better chance that the rain will land on the Aspen Acres fire. Of course, that would be great news for the active firefight and the flame zones, but there is that risk for fire crews with that flash flood risk on Wednesday afternoon as well. Again, very slow moving showers and storms will easily trigger flash flood warnings in that area. Those showers on Wednesday should again wrap up by about 10 o'clock. Burning fire, that certainly helps, and the higher humidity overall helps fire crews, but there's some things that aren't so great. If the rain falls just beyond the fire line and provides erratic wind, that is an issue for the firefight, and that's what's happening right now. Southwest winds are gusting to 26 miles per hour at our sensor in Beulah. It's 83 degrees, gusting to 26 in Colorado City, gusting also to 26 in Pueblo. And you can see these are all in different directions because we have some showers in the vicinity. Now the rain really moved through Pueblo. There's been some lightning and thunder as well. Unfortunately, that rain missing the burn area for now, but this is not the last chance of rain we have this week. In fact, the chance gets even better tomorrow in Beulah, and then Thursday, Friday, still a spotty thunderstorm chance before the hot, dry weather returns this weekend. Now, another factor at play here is in the burned areas, there is spots where we could see debris flow and very easily get flash flood warnings. So there's a flash flood watch for tomorrow. This is specifically concerning the Aspen Acres burn scar. It just covers most of Pueblo County. Weather inch of rainfall in this area. It's so highly susceptible to debris flow. For context, it would take about 1 to 3 inches of rain in Pueblo for the same exact flash flood warning. Allison.
Alex, thank you.
Hot, hazy day here in southern Colorado. Our high was 90 in Colorado Springs and 99 in Pueblo. Both airports got a little bit of rainfall in the buckets. We have a few spotty showers across our region at this hour from Los Animas County into the southern Sangre de Cristo mountain range, and a few showers here lingering closer to I-25 between Colorado Springs and Pueblo. So these showers, they're slowly working their way into the plains, moving very slowly because the moisture that we have in place right now is just being recycled every day under this ridge of high pressure. So we're cut off from the jet stream. There's not going to be a lot of jet stream flow to push these showers out of wherever they form. So what you're going to notice is showers pop up in the afternoon from this moisture, and then they just rain themselves out and slowly moving eastward. So unfortunately, that does come with a flash flood risk for the Aspen Acres burn area. Yes, the fire is still actively burning, and yeah, the extra rain on top of the active flames is going to be so beneficial. But on the scorched areas that are highly burned, there's a high risk of flash flooding and debris flow, because when we have these hotly burned areas, we'll get a layer of soil and ash that is hydrophobic, so it repels water. So when the rain falls on the ash, the burned vegetation, it's going to immediately start washing off, and that can create things like mudslides, debris flow that can cause damage, and of course flash flooding will be very easy to occur because nothing is soaking into the ground. So there is that risk of flash flooding specifically tomorrow, with slightly better rain chances at the Aspen Acres fire. For this evening, few showers linger until about 9-10 o'clock. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll have the heat of the day helping to lift the atmosphere. We'll see showers and storms form near the terrain, and then they'll slowly drift eastward. It will only take about a 1/4 inch of rainfall in the burn area to trigger a flash flood warning. The main risks would be to fire crews actively working the fire, as well as to infrastructure. Showers on Wednesday will be a similar time frame, mid-afternoon to early evening, and really wrapping up by 9 to 10 o'clock. Temperature-wise, we're in the 50s and 60s tonight. Still on the fire, it's just creating gusty wind, and that's what's happening right now. We're gusting to 21 in Beulah, 31 Colorado City, 26 miles per hour in Pueblo because of showers that mostly moved through Pueblo and totally missed the burn area today. So these showers moving through the county, just putting out this outflow boundary. You can see that line here on radar. That's where that erratic wind comes into play and kind of shifts the direction for fire crews. Now, it's not the only chance of rain on the fire this week. I'll talk about that in more detail here coming up. But another factor that we've been dealing with the past week is the smoke, and it's still quite hazy even after a rainstorm in Pueblo. So we have an air quality alert in place until at least tomorrow morning, favoring the Wet Mountain Upper Arkansas River zone. And it does look like this smoke starts to clear out a bit by tomorrow afternoon. We'll have a shift in our wind direction, plus we'll have some of the shower activity. So wind will help to alleviate some of the smoke concerns, but it's still going to be a bit hazy while this fire is still actively burning. Allison.
Alex, thank you.
Like many other days have this week with a hazy sky, you can barely see the mountains because of smoke, but then eventually we could barely see the mountains because some showers developed across the region. So what we have in place now through the end of the week is under our ridge of high pressure, which is keeping us hot, we've got some moisture, some water vapor that's just going to be stuck kind of swirling around this high, and that's going to lead us to thunderstorm chances in the afternoon. But these storms are going to be moving very slowly because they're just stuck under this ridge of high pressure. They're not being moved along by a jet stream. So across the region this afternoon, you can see some shower activity kind of still centered around the Kim area or just south of Kim, the southern Sangre de Cristo mountain range. A little bit of rain activity here in the Pikes Peak region, and we had a nice shower move through Pueblo earlier. Now it's moving on to the Mesa and then into eastern Pueblo County. Looks like we are starting to see some shower development east of Pueblo County into the Fowler area. So we're still seeing these showers ongoing here tonight, but we got more rain on tap for tomorrow and slightly better chances for the Aspen Acres burn scar tomorrow. And this is unfortunately where we're concerned about flash flood warnings. So a flash flood watch has been issued from noon until 8. This is really highlighting the Aspen Acres fire zone. This is going to provide a risk for working fire crews, any evacuees that have been able to go back, and then for existing infrastructure. There's a threat to infrastructure because we can see ash and debris flow come off of the burn zones. So of course, rain on top of the active fire is good, but rain on top of the ash and the hydrophobic soil is going to cause issues. So when we have a hotly burning fire, it creates this layer of soil that just repels water. And then you'll have rain fall on that ash and that burned vegetation, and it just immediately flows off. You can get large areas of debris flowing over waterways into creeks, and that can create damage to homes if they're in the path. It can create damage to roadways, and of course provides a risk for fire crews. But National Weather Service meteorologists will be contacting fire crews via radio to keep them updated on conditions. So for the rest of this evening, just a few spotty showers in our area. These will wrap up by about 9 to 10 o'clock. And then on Wednesday, we're looking at another chance of rain and thunderstorms. Again, very slow moving activity, which makes for that flash flood risk even higher. The National Weather Service will issue a flash flood warning at the burn area with only a 1/4 inch of precipitation because it's so highly susceptible to runoff. For the rest of us, it would take a lot more rain to lead to a flash flood warning, so most of the region is not under that threat tomorrow, but we'll have these afternoon showers and storms. We have had rain across the region today. We're going to keep rain in the forecast through Friday, but this does pose a flash flood risk now for fire crews still working the Aspen Acres fire. Let's start with what rain fell today. It was pretty spotty in nature, and for the most part, it missed the fire other than maybe a couple of drops. Provided some erratic wind as well that made for a pretty gusty afternoon at the fire. Still got some rain showers tonight into the eastern plains, but at the Beulah sensor, it's 74 degrees. Nice high humidity tonight at 34% relative to what it has been in the past week. Winds gusting up to 15 miles per hour out of the west-northwest. As I mentioned, there is a flash flood risk now for Wednesday. From noon until 8 o'clock, thunderstorms are possible at the Aspen Acres fire, and very quickly that can turn into a dangerous situation for fire crews and for infrastructure as debris flow is possible. I'll talk about why we have this flash flood risk right after the fire has moved through, coming up in more detail. Today, 90 was our high in Colorado Springs, 99 in Pueblo. Both airports did pick up a little bit of precipitation in the buckets, and it was kind of hard to see the mountains today. Initially, that's because of the haze of the wildfire smoke, but then later on, it was because we had those passing showers develop across our region, so kind of poor visibility. There's still some smoke here lingering tonight, and there's still definitely moisture lingering across the state. and it's been kind of all wrapped up and swirling around this ridge of high pressure, and that's going to continue to be the case for the end of this week. So we aren't going to see much flow, so the storms are going to be moving very, very slowly, and you can see that here with the shower activity still lingering tonight from Kiowa County all the way up to I-70, where these storms really aren't moving. We don't have a jet stream to push them out into Kansas, so we're just getting some really needed moisture in the eastern plains tonight. So we're still going to look at storm chances tomorrow, even better chances of rain at the Aspen Acres fire. So of course, initially that's a good thing. If we have rain on an active wildfire, that's going to help. But there is a lingering threat for now runoff and debris flow from the highly scorched areas of this fire. So this flash flood watch tomorrow is for a high risk of working fire crews in the way of a potential flash flood and for infrastructure in the area. We could see mud and debris flow coming off of the burned zones. When you have a there's typically this layer at the top layer of the soil that becomes hydrophobic, and so it will repel water, and so the minute it starts to rain, all that ash and burned vegetation will just instantly run off, and it will wash out roads. It will go through areas like waterways, creeks, and the bridges there, and maybe even some power lines. So there is some concern in the highly scorched areas of that fire that will have that runoff. The showers still lingering here in the plains tonight will eventually dissipate, and then tomorrow, like I mentioned, we'll do it again. During the afternoon, we'll get the daytime heating, we'll get some extra lift from the mountains. Showers and storms will spark up around lunchtime along and west of I-25. Then they'll drift eastward, those slow-moving thunderstorms bringing that flash flood risk really only to the Aspen Acres burn scar. The rest of us would need 1 to 3 inches of rain to get a flash flood warning. The burn scar only needs about 1/4 of an inch. So those showers will be passing across our region. Main hazards would be gusty wind, heavy rain, and lightning, and they'll start to wrap up by about 9-10 o'clock. Temperature-wise, we're going to drop to the 50s and 60s tonight. Tomorrow, 80s, 90s.